friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kate. We talk all about mom life. We do mom life together here on this channel. If you're a mom, you're interested in living with purpose, living for the Lord, you're interested in orphan care, advocating for kids in foster care, any of that sort of thing, I would love to have you here. That's everything that I talk about here on this channel. And I would just love to have you subscribe and join the community here. So today's video is a little bit of a foster parenting 101 video, and this is specifically for foster mamas who take care of babies. I foster 0 to 4, so I've cared for quite a few babies over the past 4 years. And today's video is all about what do you do when your foster baby won't sleep. It's hard enough when you are a parent with a new baby and you're waking up all through the night to feed and comfort the child as they get used to life on this side of the womb. Their comfy, dark, cozy spot has been abruptly taken from them, and now they have to get used to all the harsh realities of this world, the bright lights and the loud sounds, hustle and the bustle, and this can be a shock to a healthy, average, normal, healthy baby. These average, normal, healthy babies have their mothers there to comfort and soothe them. That voice that they've heard, those sounds, those vibrations that they felt in the womb, those are a sign of comfort. But what happens when you're a foster parent and you're taking care of a baby who had, let's say, less than ideal circumstances in the womb? There was substance exposure, there was stress during the pregnancy, maybe an unwanted pregnancy. All of that is felt by the baby. What happens when these babies have to spend maybe the first few weeks or months of their life in the NICU, or they're dealing with brain damage from substance exposure when they were in utero? What happens when they've been exposed to domestic violence? What if they're not maybe a newborn, but they have gone home in an unhealthy and unsafe situation and they've been neglected and they've not had their needs met in the night? What about if they've been shaken or physically abused as a baby? No matter what reason babies come into care, there's always some sort of level of trauma. Whether it's just immediate removal from the birth mother, that is trauma, let alone any sort of neglect or abuse or anything like that. We cannot expect these babies to sleep well. And if you have a baby that has experienced trauma and they do sleep well, then count your lucky stars, because it certainly is not the norm. If you're fostering babies, I want you to go into the mindset with it is going to be difficult, especially the night. They have had a lot to overcome right from the get-go. And I wouldn't expect any sort of long naps or to be sleeping through the night anytime soon. And like I said, if that is not the case, then you will be pleasantly surprised. Many foster parents to babies are new parents as well. Maybe they're coming to foster care through a path of infertility and they're first-time parents as well. So I shared these 9 tips a long time ago in a blog post, but I never shared a video on it. And these tips are great for new parents as well as first-time foster parents, or just parents that maybe have experienced an easy biological baby and now they're dealing with a foster child who has experienced trauma and the baby is not sleeping. So these are my 9 tips. I don't recommend any sort of cry it out method. So first I want to say, set yourself up for success. You need to have good self-care strategies implemented. You need to make sure you have a support system so you can nap. You know, your husband takes a turn in the night, your mom comes over, whatever it may be. You make sure you have time carved out in the day to have a nap if possible. And I would say buy all of the soothing things. Like anything you can have on hand that might help. Like a white noise machine. I'm going to link some down in the description box below, some of the things that I have that I've used over the years. But a white noise machine. The baby shusher is a great little compact one. It actually the womb soundtrack from the Happiest baby on the block worked like a charm for my oldest daughter. Swaddles for sure, the little sleep sheet that goes in the baby's car seat, the little travel sleep sheet, or you can attach it to the side of the crib. A Fisher-Price rock and play where it's constant movement. Some babies will need constant movement. Projector with sounds. Our Rosie girl, she doesn't settle well on her own. She needs to kind of be looking and focusing on something in order for her to settle. So we got her this little projector that has music that plays. It projects fish on the roof, or there's different things, scenes you can pick, but she absolutely loves it and she gets excited, you know, and she's like, fish, and then she knows and she kind of can gaze at them, and that helps her to kind of relax her mind and calm her. That wouldn't be the case for all babies, but for some babies, the projection and the music works really, really well. So I would arm yourself with all of the things so that you're not sleep deprived, hitting Amazon Prime in the middle of the night, just buying anything and everything because you're just so tired you would do anything for sleep. So I would say definitely start out with a small collection as a new foster parent with all of these shushing and soothing and swaying things. The next thing I'm going to say is routine. Keep your routine as consistent as possible, especially once the babies get a little bit older. I think as a newborn, you can't spoil babies. They can't be on too much of a routine. They're still trying to figure out and adjust to the world. But even if it's as simple as a system, do the wake, eat, play, sleep thing. So I'm not using their food to get them back to sleep, because that can become like a crutch later on where they'll only go to sleep whether they're breastfeeding or bottle feeding. So I always like to wake, play, and then put them back to sleep. So even if it's not a consistent, you know, they nap at this time, but just having that same system throughout the day, I implement that right away. But the older they get, the more routine they have, the better. Bedtime is the same time, nap times are the same time. You do the same routine, whether it's bath, books, sing a song, prayer, whatever it may be. You do the same thing before every sleep so that they know that they're winding down and it's time to go to sleep. So the third tip I have for you is read The Happiest Baby on the Block. I swear by this. God gave me a very difficult first baby with Lilia. The world was just too much for her. The first 4 months of her life was just a lot. She cried a lot. She needed constant soothing. She needed constant movement, constant white noise. The Happiest Baby on the Block was a lifesaver for me. So just read that book. The fourth thing I'm going to say is swaddle. I know the swaddling recommendation comes and goes, whether it's the right thing to do or not the right thing to do. Listen, guys, babies have been swaddled for years. When they're fighting it, it's often just their reactions. A lot of first-time moms feel like they don't like the swaddle because they want their hands out. They're hitting themselves in the face and waking themselves up. Get those hands down, swaddle them up tightly. I swear by the swaddle, works like a dream every time. So the fifth thing is shush. A baby inside the womb, the sounds of all those fluids swishing around in there is the equivalent of like having a vacuum cleaner close to their ear. So that's why babies like white noise so much. They don't want loud noises that startle them here and there. They like that constant whirring. So whether you get a white noise machine or just a fan, I myself still sleep with a fan. I can't sleep in still silence, and my older girls sleep with a fan. We are a total white noise house, and we just all get better sleep when we have that constant white noise, and that comes from the womb. So don't break a good thing. The sixth thing I'm going to say is suck. Let the baby suck, whether that's a soother, whether that's them finding their finger. I'm going to let you be the judge on the best way for your baby to suck. But sucking is a very soothing and calming thing for babies. I see a lot of moms that like don't want kids to have soothers or whatnot. It is a very calming thing. I 100% swear by the soothers. Yes, there's an age where it's appropriate to take them away, and there's lots of kids that I see walking around with them in their mouth all day long. I don't necessarily agree with that, but hey, you do you, mama. I'm not judging you. Whatever keeps your baby happy. I'm a firm believer in the soother. Rosie did not take a soother, and it was awful because often I just knew that she would be calm if she had something to suck, but she didn't want the soother. Number 7, sway. Again, back to the womb. These babies are moving constantly. As a mom, you're rolling over in bed, you're walking, you may be exercising. They are used to movement, so swaying is key. That's why I love the rock and play so much. Swings, I'm a huge advocate for anything that helps you sway your baby so you can take a break. Number 8, pat their bum. It mimics the heartbeat. It works like a charm. I don't know why. I don't know how I learned that, where I learned that. I think it's a natural instinct. Excuse my dog barking. I think it's a... Nika! I think it's a natural instinct, but it mimics the heartbeat that the baby feels in the womb. Soft little consistent pat on the bum seems to work like a charm. Number 9, blackout curtains. It is dark. It is pitch dark in that womb. So mimic that as much as possible. Get all the blackout curtains. I have those rabbit sticky things on the windows. If you want your baby to sleep and they're having trouble sleep, a little crack of light is going to wake them up quite easily. So blackout curtains all the way. Number 10, sleep breeds more sleep. Often I hear like, oh, I got to keep them up during the day so they sleep at night. No, sleep begets sleep. The more they sleep, the better they will sleep. It's different when they're a little bit older, but as babies, once they become overtired, they get very overstimulated easily, which causes lots of problems when you're trying to get them to calm down and sleep. So sleep begets sleep. Don't try and keep them up all day and think that they're going to sleep at night. It doesn't work that way. That's different once you get into the toddler ages, but as a baby, absolutely not. Sleep begets sleep. Give them more sleep. They'll take more sleep. Overtired, cranky baby, it disturbs their natural sleep cycle. So keep them on their natural sleep cycle as much as possible. The first signs of sleepiness, the first yawn, the first eye rub, even looking away from you, that's a sign that they're getting overstimulated. Get those babies to sleep, because as soon as they're overstimulated, they're cranky. It becomes so much harder. That's where you're dealing with the fussiness, and they become very irritable and hard to calm. So I hope these tips were helpful for you, whether you're a new foster mom, just a new mom in general. Happy, well-rested baby is the key to any mother's happiness. We all know babies that are cranky and overtired, it can weigh on us, and that constant crying and that constant whining can just be so much. So let your baby get as much sleep as possible. You need to rest when you can. Everybody's happier with a good night's sleep. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. Share this video with another mama that might find it helpful. Subscribe if you're new. I'd love to have you, and I will